Again, we're gonna play her basically saying she's been blackmailed. That's what it sounds like to me. What y'all think?
She would have been over. He would have been over. You put me in a predicament, so I had to still kind of be cool with the nigga to make sure he don't go all the way back, and I'm not getting tired on both sides. My team Papoose and team fuck this nigga.
And again, like I said, it goes back to the point that if you in a relationship and you're married and you start a new relationship, the side person may actually start to like you or love you, but they're not really sure if you really rocking with them, if you really want to be with them, if you may be planning to go back to your significant other, right? So he said that in the audio, that he's not sure if Remy Ma really rocks with him or whatever the case is, and he's gonna release this information whenever he feel like it. So that's not something Papoose recorded. That was something that was sent to him. How would Papoose record a conversation with Easy the Block Captain, the guy that you're cheating with? How does he record audio of this your side dude and the side and his friend? How in the world is Papoose gonna have access to record audio of a conversation between that guy and his friend? It don't make sense. Somebody likely sent the audio to Papoose and said, look, this is what this guy is saying about your wife, about blackmailing or putting stuff out there. So again, the internet streets aren't believing it because the story doesn't make sense, Remy. That's what it really come down to. It doesn't make sense. And you still haven't really said, well, what did the guy do to you? I mean, the things that you could say that your husband did. He's beating on you. He's cheating. She never says that he cheated. She never claims that he cheated. So we could understand tit for tat. We could understand like, hey, he been cheating on me. He's been seeing other women for years or whatever the case is, and I got tired of it and I got to go do my thing. If she was saying that and that was substantiated, then I don't think people would be looking at you funny right now. But people are looking at Remy funny because you basically stepped out on this guy first and you're trying to justify it now. And I don't think that's gonna work.
When you're recording and the other person doesn't know they're recording, you're gonna act accordingly because you know you're being recorded. You wanted me to lie and say that nothing never happened at all, that I wasn't messing with him, I wasn't talking to him, nothing. And I said, I'm not doing that. We all, me, you, and Easy agreed that we wasn't gonna say nothing about the incident that happened at my event. Not that you knocked anybody out, because that was always a lie. And you agreed to it because at the time you didn't have your executive position job as the head of hip hop that no one has heard about in a month of Sundays. And you wasn't sure if it was secure, so we couldn't have something coming out where you were seeming like the aggressor or committing a crime or anything like that. Me, being who I am, I went and I talked to Easy and I'm like, listen, just chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's in all of our best interest because he is who he is in his field. I am who I am. And Papoose is who he is. At the time, he was still Papoose. He wasn't Papoose yet. Well, he was, but I just didn't know. So, the moment that he knew his job at TuneCore was solidified via that bitch you was over there, play with me. I dare you.
See, she's tight. She's tight that he found a new... He's tight that he really is with this Clarissa Shields. She's tight about that. And she's not hiding it well because you can really see when she talks about... Now, keep in mind, she been seeing her guy, the side guy, for 2 years now. She's been seeing him for 2 years. Has admitted that she is. Has admitted that he knew about it, right? And he just met this girl last year. They haven't even been together as long, and as soon as she mentions it, she seems pretty mad, and it's okay. It's nothing wrong with being mad, but again, you stepped out first, and the question is, yo, if you stepped out first and maybe you felt like, yo, this guy, because here, keep in mind, here's the same guy who was coming to the jail every day. I think that she felt like she was gonna step out and Pap would just still be there forever, you know what I'm saying, and maybe forgive her eventually or be there, because I don't think that in the long term it's going to work out with the easy to block captain guy. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I don't think it's going to work out long term. I think that is probably going to be a situation that fizzles out, and Remy Ma's going to end up, you know, alone or back in the streets, you know, single or whatever it is. So
play with me. That's why he was mad that I never posted it, because he doesn't get a check from TuneCore. He was getting a percentage of the subscriptions, and he wanted me to post to my 11 million followers to subscribe to TuneCore. And I told him, tell the bitch that's your TuneCore to post it on her page. I didn't see anything wrong with that. What do
you see what I'm saying? So she's like, no, you tell Clarissa Shields to post on her page. I'm not supporting you, but you still stepped out first. But you know, like I said, man, this is wild.
Talking about the second that he knew his job was solidified, he then started going on this, I knocked somebody out, because he was mad. He wanted to assassinate Easy's character the same way he's trying to assassinate mine's. Okay, I literally peeled off your ass, because I can't even go to that venue no more because the way was acting when they got about, when you ran off into the night with a mask on and nobody knew where you went to. It was like, we doing this. You know what I said? Sorry, guys. That's my husband still, and that's my daughter's father. I can't do nothing. Yes, he was absolutely wrong. He was dead wrong. He was out of pocket. Yeah, if y'all do something behind my back that I don't know about, whatever, but not on my watch, I'm not doing it. And that's how I behave, and that's how I handle him. Through all the tormenting and all the secrets and all everything, nobody still couldn't handle him crazy.
But think about it though. Now, again, I don't condone going to beat up the side dude. That's not really the way to go. But keep in mind, here you are messing with a guy who you work with. Somebody, you start this rap league, and he's one of the battle rappers in the battle rap league. You messing with him, you starting a whole little side relationship with this guy, right? And you know that these two guys shook hands, because Papoose says that I shook the guy's hand before, maybe before he knew that, you know, the guy was sleeping with you. But here you are introducing a guy to shake your husband's hand while this guy's sleeping with you. That type of stuff creates a deadly situation, and that's the thing. Remy Ma should know better than that, because we're grown out here, and it's different. So for men, it's dangerous. It's one thing if you said, look, man, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I think we should get divorced. And you go ahead and get divorced, and you meet a new guy, and then Papoose show up wilding out and all this stuff. Then it's like, yo, he's the ex-husband. He already knows I don't want to be with him, and he's all the way out of pocket. But it makes it dangerous when you're saying, you know what, I'm in this new relationship, and I have the guy who shook my husband's hand, and I'm having this affair. It's not even like it's a secret affair with the guy that your husband has no idea about. This is somebody who your husband has met. So that creates a lot of dangerous situations. People will die over that type of stuff. So it's just a scenario that, yeah, you can blame Papoose for his responsibility as far as going up there and hitting the guy, but you're creating that environment as a wife, right? You should know that you don't want to put your husband, the father of your child, in a dangerous situation, and that's a dangerous situation. And honestly, it would have been the same thing, because Remy Ma she shot her friend. That's how she ended up going to jail. So Papoose would have been out of line to like been working with some girl that Remy Ma shook hands with, and then she find out that they've been sleeping together the whole time. Remy Ma may have went up and fought the woman. She's that type of woman. She's that type of girl where she would go up and fight the side girl, maybe shoot the side girl. Who knows? But again, you don't want to put your partner, somebody you're with, married to, in a dangerous situation. If you want to get divorced and you feel like it's over, cool. And if you're going to have an affair, to be having your partner meet that person and then you're sleeping with that person, that's dangerous.
Let's be clear. People didn't respect me on the strength of him. A lot of the shit that he got was on the strength of me. And that's how I carried it. So when people was like, when he goes on there and says, oh, he lied after I knocked him out, he lied. Like, well, we all lied. Because we were all trying to make sure that we were all good, because you did some dumb shit. But y'all know how it is. They could do mad shit to you all day, every day, year after year, decade after decade. But the second you do something to them, the second you say, I'm done, I'm finished, all hell breaks loose.
But the question is, what did he do to you? Everybody wants to know, what did Papoose do to you, right? What did he do? Of course, we know any marriage is not going to be perfect. You weren't perfect. He wasn't perfect. But what in particular did he do to you? That's the question. Because this guy, Papoose, hasn't said nothing for 2 years. There's been rumors of Remy's being with this guy, Easy the Block Captain, for like, at least on my radar, at least a year or so, right? I've been hearing about it since at least 2023. And for a while, I was like, maybe it's not even true. But I was seeing pictures of them together, and it was all over the place on a lot of reputable sites. So I'm like, there has to be something to this. But Pap didn't say nothing all this time. This guy been quiet. I didn't know he had a new woman as far as Clarissa Shields until somewhat recently. So I think that he was quiet, and I think his story is plausible. His story is believable. I think he was probably trying to stay with you, wanted to stay with you because he loved you. I never seen the guy, none of us ever seen, especially in the hip hop community, period. I never seen the guy be loyal and hold down a woman. He was a nice guy, in my opinion. And I think they say nice guys finish last. Here's the thing. I wouldn't say nice guys just finish last. Here's the thing. I think that, and again, you can fry me in the comments if you want, but the relationship dynamic, if you have a dynamic where the man is always, you know, fawning or chasing over the woman, and the woman isn't doing the same thing back, that relationship's gonna die. I guarantee you. And I'm not saying that's what Pap was doing, but he was overly supportive of her. And I never seen her do that to him, right? So even when things were good between them, I didn't see her pumping up his music or trying to push forward his music. I think that she just felt like, I'm the bigger artist, it's about me. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial Convo.